Welcome to Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. As a subject, discrete mathematics and chapter algebraic structure, we will discuss on the topics ring, examples of ring, field and examples of field. Now let us see what is ring. An algebraic structure S plus dot, where dot is multiplication, is called a ring if the following conditions are satisfied. First is S plus is abelian group, next is S dot is semi group, and the third one is the operation dot is distributive over addition. We already know that what is abelian group. Abelian group means 5 properties must be satisfied. First is closure, next is associative, next is existence of identity, next is existence of inverse and commutative law with operation addition. And semi-group means S dot is semi-group means what? 2 properties with respect to multiplication must be satisfied, that is closure and associative. Now for example, let S equal to Z the set of integers, and let plus and star be usual addition and multiplication of integer, then S plus star is a commutative ring with unity. Now next is let S be the set of all 2 cross 2 matrices, and let plus and star be the operation of addition and multiplication of matrices, then S is not commutative ring. See, why here S will not be commutative ring? Because for commutative ring, we need that A into B must be equal to B into A, and this is not always true for matrix multiplication, so it will not be a commutative ring. Now let I equal to 1 0 0 1, and I is an identity for matrix multiplication, that is AI equal to IA equal to A for all A in S. We already know this 1 0 0 1 is an identity matrix, and for this is always satisfied. This means that S plus star is a ring with identity, and that is not commutative. Now let us take one example. Show that the set M equal to A0 B0, where AB belongs to R, is not a ring under the operations of the matrix addition and multiplication. See here how M is defined. First let us see. Here there are 2 real numbers which may be 0 or which may not be 0, but this column is always 0. In such type of matrix we need to create first. We need 3 elements first of all, so we are taking 3 matrices A, B and C, which are of the form of matrix M, of the set M. Now first is, to be a ring, first we need to prove that it is abelian with respect to addition. So first is closure. Now if I add A and B, then corresponding elements are being added according to matrix addition. So here it will become A plus C, and this will become B plus D, and rest will be 0 0. So this is of the form of the set M. So we say that closure is satisfied. Now let us move towards associative law. For associative law, we will prove LHS equal to RHS. Here I am taking A plus B plus C. B and C I am taking together. If I add B and C, if I add this to matrix, I get C plus E 0 and D plus F 0. Now I will add this with matrix A. So I get A plus C plus E 0, B plus D plus F 0. Now I am separating C part. I am just separating this portion EF 0 0. So I can write this, okay. And here you can see that this is A plus B. So I am writing A plus B together, and C I can separate out. You can see here LHS is becoming equal to RHS Therefore, we can say that associative law is satisfied. Now next is existence of identity element with respect to addition. Here our A matrix is A0, B0. E I am assuming as E1 0 and E2 0 and equal to A. This is according to our formula that A plus E equal to A for existence of identity element. Okay. Now here what I need to do is I need to find the value of E1 and E2. So I am adding these two matrices. So I get here A plus E1 0 and B plus E2 0. To find the value of E1 and E2, I will compare the corresponding elements. So A plus E1 equal to A. So I get E1 equal to 0. Next I compare B plus E2 equal to B. So I get E2 equal to 0. From here you can see E1 and E2 equal to 0. So I substitute these values in this matrix. So I get null matrix as my identity. Now let us see whether inverse element exists or not. Now suppose X I am assuming as my inverse matrix, then we know that A plus X equal to E, where E is our identity element obtained in step 3. So X can be written as E minus A. So E is null matrix. So 0 0 0 0 minus A, then I get minus A 0 minus B 0. Okay, so this belongs to the set M, which is our inverse element. So we can say that existence of inverse element is there. Now my next property is commutative law with respect to addition. Okay, so A plus B will be equal to A plus C 0, B plus D 0. Now we know that addition is always commutative, so A plus C can be written as C plus A and B plus D can be written as D plus B, which is equal to B plus A. So we can see here that A plus B is equal to B plus A. So commutative law is also satisfied. Now we will see whether M dot is a semigroup or not. So when I multiply A dot B, then I get my matrices AC 0 and BC 0, which belongs to the set M. Okay, so we can see here that these are again real numbers and this column is again 0. So closure with respect to multiplication is also satisfied. Now let us see whether associative with respect to multiplication is satisfied or not. See, now A into B into C. A I am keeping as it is. When I multiply B and C, I get CE 0, DE 0. When I multiply this with again A, I get ACE 0 and BDE 0. Now I am taking the other side, A into B into C. When I multiply AB, I get AC 0, BC 0. Into matrix C, I get ACE 0, BCF 0. From here you can see that this both matrices are different. Therefore, we can say that associative law with respect to multiplication is not satisfied. So, M dot is not a semigroup. Therefore, we can say that M is not a ring. Now, let us move towards next example. Show that the algebraic system Z9 plus 9 cross 9, this is modulo 9 here, where Z9 equal to 0 to 8 under the operations addition and multiplication of congruence modulo 9 forms a ring. Now first let us take 3 elements from the set Z9. Now let us check one by one all the properties. Now if I take any 2 elements and add it and apply modulo 9, then obviously the resultant answer will be from the set Z9. For example, if I take 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 equal to 5, which again belongs to the set Z9. So similarly you can check all the elements from 0 to 8 and you will find that after adding any two elements, the resultant answer belongs to the set Z9. So you can say that closure is satisfied. Now next is associative law. It will be always true that associative law with respect to addition with or without modulo will always be true. Now let us move towards the identity element. See here, if you take any element in place of A, if you add 0, then I get the same element A after applying modulo 9. If I take 2 plus 0, I get again 2. If I get 2 addition modulo 9, 0, I get A. Similarly, if I take 8 modulo 9, addition modulo 9, 0, that will be equal to 8. So 0 is the identity element. Now next is inverse. See, inverse of 0 will be 0. Okay. Now inverse of 1 will be 8. How? When I add 1 plus 8, that will be equal to 9. Okay. When I add 1 and 8, I will get that equal to 9. After applying modulo system, I get 9 equal to 0. Okay. And 0 is the identity element. Similarly, you can check everything. If I take 2, how much I will add in 2 to get my identity element? I must add 7 so that I get the answer is 9, and which is again equal to 0, and that is our identity element. Similarly, you can check the inverse for all the elements. Now, A plus 9B equal to B plus 9A. Here modulo 9, when you apply, commutative law will always hold true. And next we need to check is closure and associative with respect to multiplication. Now A multiplication modulo 9 B gives the remainder from 0 to 9 dividing by 9. Therefore A cross 9 B belongs to Z9. And similarly, it is always true that for Z9, multiplication will always hold true. Associative law for multiplication will always hold true. And the last property is property 8. Again, addition modulo 9 is distributive over multiplication modulo 9 under the congruence modulo m. Here our m is equal to 9. Therefore, all the properties are satisfied. So we can say that Z9 plus 9 and multiplication 9 is a ring. Now let us see some definitions. First is ring with unity. Let S plus dot be a ring if there exists an element E belongs to S such that A into E equal to A equal to E into A. For every A belongs to S, then E is the identity or the unit element in S with respect to the operation multiplication or dot. Then S plus dot is called a ring with unity. As we are doing in addition that A plus E equal to A, here if this is satisfied, A into E must be equal to A, then you say that it is a ring with unity. Now next is commutative ring. A ring S plus dot is a commutative ring if S is commutative under the operation multiplication. That is, A dot B must be equal to B dot A for every A belongs to the set S. For example, the ring S plus dot where Z is the set of integers under usual operations of addition and multiplication is a commutative ring as A dot B equal to B dot A for every integers A and B. Next is division ring. A ring S plus dot is a division ring or a skew field if there exists an inverse of each element under multiplication. That is, for every A belongs to S, there exists B belongs to S such that A dot B equal to E, where E is the identity element with respect to multiplication. Now next is ring with zero divisors. A ring S plus dot is a ring with zero division if for all A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 belongs to S, we have A dot B equal to 0. Here A and B are called divisions of 0. See here, what is ring with zero divisors? Where both the elements A and B are not equal to 0 and we have A dot B equal to 0. Then it is said that it is ring with zero divisors. Now next is ring without zero divisors. A ring S plus dot is called a ring without zero division if A dot B equal to 0 implies either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Now let us see some few properties of ring. See, if S plus dot is a ring, then for every ABC belongs to S, we have A into 0 equal to 0 equal to A in 0 into A into minus B equal to minus A into B equal to minus AB, minus A into minus AB equal to AB, and A into B minus C equal to AB minus AC. Now next is integral domain. A ring S plus dot is called an integral domain if it is commutative with respect to multiplication, with unit element with respect to multiplication, and without zero divisors. For example, the ring Z plus dot, where Z is the set of integers, is an integral domain. Reasons are given below. First is, for any AB belongs to Z, AB equal to BA. Since our first property is it must be commutative with respect to multiplication. Now next is unit element must exist with respect to multiplication. So for every A belongs to Z, A into 1 equal to A equal to 1 into A. This is very obvious that if I take any integer, suppose I take minus 5 into 1 will be equal to minus 5. So 1 is the unit element. Now next, without zero divisors, we have to show for any A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 belongs to Z, we know that A into B will not be equal to 0. Therefore, it is without zero divisors. Now next topic is field. What is field? A ring S plus dot is called a field if it is commutative. Next, every non-zero element of Z has an multiplicative inverse in S. For example, S plus dot is not a field and the ring R plus dot is a field. We will note some of the points. Every field is a ring. Every field is an integral domain, but the converse is not true. That means if it is an integral domain, it is not necessary that it will be a field. And the next is every finite integral domain is a field. Let us take one example and understand this. What is field? Show that Z7 plus 7 cross 7. Here it is modulo 7, congruence modulo 7, and Z7 equal to 0 to 6. With the operation addition modulo 7 and multiplication modulo 7 is a field. First we will prove all the properties. See, let us take two elements from Z7. AB belongs to Z7. So if I add both with addition modulo 7, I get some constant C, where C is the least remainder dividing A plus B by 7. So closure with respect to addition is satisfied. Now next is we are taking three elements A, B and C from Z7. Then A, B and C will be equal to A plus B plus C, where B plus C equal to B plus C modulo 7. The least remainder dividing by A plus B plus C by 7. Therefore, the least remainder will be A plus B plus C by 7. So we can say that associative law is also satisfied. Now next is, here with respect to addition, 0 will be the additive identity. Okay, next the inverse of 0 will be 0. This is as we have done in the example of ring. First property is it must be commutative ring. Okay, so the inverse of 0 is 0, inverse of 1 will be 6. We have already discussed how the inverse element exists. Okay, if I add 5 to 2, then I get my answer is 7, which is equal to 0 after applying modulo 7, and 0 is the additive identity. So similarly you can find the inverse of all the elements. Now next is commutative. A plus 7b equal to, if I add this 2 and I apply modulo 7, then it will be equal to the least remainder dividing B plus A by 7. So A plus B will be equal to B plus A. So we will say that Z plus 7 is an abelian group. Now next we have to see with respect to multiplication. For AB belongs to Z, we have A cross B equal to the least remainder dividing AB by 7. So we can say that closure with respect to multiplication must be satisfied. Now next is associative with respect to multiplication must be satisfied, because it is a property of ring, and first property of field is it must be a commutative ring. Now if I take any three elements from Z7, then if I multiply B and C and apply modulo system 7, then and again I multiply the resultant with A, then the remainder will be divided by 7. The remainder we will get will be between 0 to 6. Okay, so this will be equal to the least remainder dividing A cross B cross C by 7, which is equal to A cross B cross C. Next is distributive law. I am taking three elements from Z7. Again, left distributive law, see here we are seeing A cross B plus C, then A cross, this will become B plus C, where B plus C is B plus C mod 7, which will be equal to least remainder dividing this whole term by 7, again which is equal to the least remainder dividing A cross B plus A cross C by 7. This can be written as A cross B cross 7 A cross C, which is again equal to A cross 7B plus 7 A cross 7 C. Similarly, we can prove the other side. Therefore, we can say that Z7 plus 7 cross 7 is a ring. Now, next property is A cross B equal to least remainder dividing A cross B by 7, which will be equal to the remainder dividing B into A by 7, which is again equal to B multiplication modulo 7 A. So this is also satisfied that A cross B equal to B cross A. And next one is about the identity element. If I am taking A from Z7, I multiply this and apply modulo system, then I get A. This will be equal to the least remainder dividing A cross E by 7, which will equal to A. So this can be written as AE equal to 7Q plus A, where Q is the quotient. So E equal to, I am taking A to the other side, E equal to 7 into Q by A plus 1. Here you can see that 1 is the remainder, so E is the identity element. So E equal to 1 is the identity element with respect to multiplication modulo 7. Now let A not equal to 0. So the inverse of 1 is 1, 2 is 4, 3 is 5, and so on. So all the properties of a field are satisfied. So we can say that Z7 plus 7 cross 7 is a field. So I hope you are clear with the topic of ring and field. Thank you.